Hi everyone, and welcome to our first day of our Journeys Lesson 9. So as you can see, I have a special friend with us today. Some of you may have seen him before. He's a very popular cat. This is the Cat and the Hat. Now, you're wondering, why is the Cat in the Hat here with us? Well, this week we will be learning about Dr. Seuss. Now, Dr. Seuss is the author of stories like The Cat in the Hat and many other books that we have read before. So let's get started, okay, Cat in the Hat? Oh, he said okay. So let's get started. To begin our lesson today, we are going to be reading a story called The Little Red Hen. Now, as we read through our story, we will see some of our vocabulary words for the week highlighted. When we finish reading the story, we will go over each of these vocab words' definitions. So let's get started reading The Little Red Hen. Once upon a time, there was a little farm on a hill. On this farm lived a little red hen, her 3 chicks, a duck, a pig, and a cat. The little red hen did all the work. She cooked, washed, and swept. She mowed, raked, and gardened. So where does this story take place? It told us in the very beginning. This story takes place on a little farm on a hill. Let's keep reading. One day, while she was yanking the weeds out of the garden, the little red hen found some grains of wheat. "Look," she clucked. "Who will help me plant this wheat?" "Not I," quacked the duck as he waddled away. "Not I," oinked the pig as he trotted away. "Not I," meowed the cow, who was barely awake, and she fell back asleep. "Then I will plant it myself," said the little red hen. And she did. When the wheat was tall and golden, the little red hen knew it was ready to be cut. "Who will help me cut the wheat?" she asked. "Not I," quacked the duck. "Not I," oinked the pig. "Not I," meowed the cat. "Then I will cut this wheat myself," said Little Red Hen. And she did. "It is time to take the wheat to the miller so he can grind it into flour," said the Little Red Hen. "Who will help me?" "Not I," quacked the duck. "Not I," oinked the pig. "Not I," meowed the cat. "Then I will make the trip to the miller by myself," said the Little Red Hen. And she did. The miller ground the wheat into fine white flour. Then he put it into a sack for the Little Red Hen. When she returned to the barnyard, the Little Red Hen asked, "Who will help me make the dough?" "Not I," quacked the duck. "Not I," oinked the pig. "Not I," meowed the cat. So how would you describe the Little Red Hen? She seems to be the only one who does any work around the farm. We could say that the hen is very hardworking. Now, if the hen is hardworking, what words would you use to describe the duck, the pig, and the cat? Well, they are not helping do anything around the farm. We could say that they are very lazy and maybe even a little selfish too. So after they all said, "Not I," to helping Hen make the dough, Hen said, "Then I will make the dough myself." And she did. When she finished the dough, the Little Red Hen asked, "Could any of you at least try to help me make the bread?" The duck, the pig, and the cat just groaned all together. "I get the point. I won't ask twice. I will bake it myself," said the Little Red Hen. And she did. Soon the bread was done. The Little Red Hen took it from the oven. "I wonder who will help me eat this bread," she said. "Oh, I will," quacked the duck. "I will," oinked the pig. "I will," purred the cat. "Oh, no, you won't," said the Little Red Hen. "You wouldn't help me plant the seeds, cut the wheat, go to the miller, or bake the bread. Now my 3 chicks and I will eat this bread ourselves." And they did. The duck, the cat, and the pig finally realized how selfish they had been. From then on, the friends shared the work equally. What an interesting story for us to read this week. What lesson do you think the duck, the pig, and the cat learned? So at the end of the story, the hen would not give them any of the bread because they did not help with anything. It says that they finally realized how selfish they had been and that they shared the work equally. So what lesson do you think the duck, the pig, and the cat learned? They may have learned not to be selfish and also not to be lazy because it will not help anybody in the end. Now let's go over our vocabulary words that we learned in this story. Our first word that we learned in our story was the word yanking. Yanking. The word yanking means pulling with a jerk. In our story, the word yanking was used when it says, "One day, while she was yanking the weeds out of the garden, the little red hen found some grains of wheat." The next word we saw was the word awake. The word awake means not asleep. In our story, the word awake was used when it says, "Not I," meowed the cat, who was barely awake, and she fell back asleep. The next word we went over was the word trip. Now the word trip can have 2 different meanings. The word trip can mean I trip and fall to the ground, or it can also mean that you are going someplace and returning. The word trip in the story is used as going someplace. In our story, the word trip was used when it says, "Then I will make the trip to the miller by myself," said the Little Red Hen. The next word is the word try. The word try means to make an attempt or effort to do something. The word try was used in our story when it says, when she finished the dough, the Little Red Hen asked, "Could any of you at least try to help me make the bread?" Our next word we learned was the word twice. The word twice means 2 times. The word twice was used in our story when it says, "I won't ask twice." And our last word that we learned was the word wonder. The word wonder means to be curious about something. In our story, the word wonder is used when it says, "I wonder who will help me eat this bread," she said. Now that we've finished going over our vocabulary words, let's read our story for this week. our sight words that we learned this morning. Our sight words are also sometimes called our words to know. So let's look at our list of words to know first before we read the sentence. Our words to know are the words write, read, pictures, draw, was, after. So let's read the sentences and see how they are used. Our first card says write. Write. The sentence says, they write stories to read in class. So the word is write. Our next card says the word read. Read. Our sentence says, Dad will read a book to us. Read. Our next word is the word pictures. Pictures. The sentence says, he is looking for some pictures of lions. Pictures. Our next word is the word draw. Draw. The sentence says, they all like to draw pictures. Draw. Next we have the word was. Was. The sentence says, this animal book was very funny. Was. And the last word is the word after. After. They will go to sleep after the story. So as I mentioned earlier, we are going to be talking about Dr. Seuss this week. Now before we read our story about Dr. Seuss, let's look over some of our target skills. One of our target skills this week are text and graphic features. Our text and graphic features. In nonfiction selections, that means stories that are true, they use special features to point out information. These things are like titles, labels, captions, photos, graphs, or artwork. As you read, you use special features to help you learn more about the topic. You can use a chart like below to list the features and what you learn. So the text in the story will be the words, and the graphic features are the things like titles, photos, and artworks that we just mentioned. Now, as we're reading through our story about Dr. Seuss today, ask questions about what you read, and then look for text evidence, so evidence from our story, to help you answer. So our topic for this story is about writing. Why do people write books? They write to show how they feel. They write to give information. They write to make people laugh. Authors can write stories, poems, and plays. What do you like to write? You will read about a famous writer in Dr. Seuss. So as we just mentioned, our target skill for this story are text and graphic features. It tells how the words, photos, and art in the story give information. Our genre of this story, Dr. Seuss, is a biography. A biography tells about events in a real-life person's life. So as we read this story, be looking for facts about why the person is important and also pictures of the person. Now this story was written by Helen Lester. Just like Dr. Seuss, Helen Lester has written a lot of books that make you laugh. She says that the funny characters she creates, such as Tacky the Penguin, are just like the students she had when she was a second grade teacher. So now let's read our story, Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss, written by Helen Lester. Our essential question is, what makes a story or poem funny? Here is Dr. Seuss. You can call him Ted. His mom and dad did. So who is this a picture of? Dr. Seuss. And what is his real name? Ted. His name is Ted Seuss. Ted was a funny man. Ted was a funny man. The word was is one of our sight words for this week. Ted would draw pictures. Ted would draw pictures. The words draw and pictures are also some of our sight words for this week. Here is a fun picture. Here is a fun picture. Who do you think is in the picture? We see Dr. Seuss, but it also looks like a drawing of the Cat in the Hat. Ted could write too. Ted wrote the book, The Cat in the Hat. Write is also one of our sight words, and the cat in the hat is who we met at the beginning of our lesson. The Cat in the Hat was a big hit. Can you find the cat in the hat? Do you see the cat in the hat in this picture? Look closely. There are two cat in the hats in the back of the picture. Ted had many big hits after the Cat in the Hat. Kids like the Lorax a lot. Have you ever read The Lorax or The Cat in the Hat? After is also one of our sight words for this week. Ted would write rhymes. Can you find some here? Can you see some words on this page that rhyme? The word splat and hat rhyme. Also the word sled and the word red. The word bell and smell. It was fun to hear Ted read. Read is also one of our sight words for this week. So here we can see Dr. Seuss or Ted Seuss reading to a class. Now kids can see animals from his books. Now kids can see animals from his books. Do you see who this is a picture of in the statue? This is a picture of Dr. Seuss and Cat in the Hat. This is a picture of Dr. Seuss National Memorial Sculpture Garden. Dr. Seuss is still a big hit with kids today. So in our story, Dr. Seuss, we saw many pictures of Ted Seuss. We also learned a lot of facts about Dr. Seuss. We read that he liked to write, he liked to draw, that he was funny, and he also liked to rhyme. Now let's read our decodable for the week and use our reader's notebook to complete an activity. Now let's read our decodable, Step Up, by Tanya Rivers. As we're reading through our decodable, be looking for words that blend with the letter S. So for example, words like be looking for words that blend with the letter S. Just like last week how we worked with blends with the letter L, like class, glad, clap. Be looking for words that blend with the letter S. Let's get started. The clock struck 8. We go to the bus stop. Step up, step up. So let's read that together. The clock struck 8. We go to the bus stop. Step up, step up. Do you see any words on our page? Do you see any words on our page that blend with the letter S? There are a few. The word struck blends with the letter S. And also the word step, step. Can Jess read? Yes, Jess can. Can Stan read? Yes, Stan can. So let's read this together. Can Jess read? Yes, Jess can. Can Stan read? Yes, Stan can. The word Stan blends with the letter S. Stan. Kim can write A, B, C. Kim can spell. Let's read together. Kim can write A, B, C. Kim can spell. The word spell is also a blend with the letter S. Spell. Jill will snap blocks. Jill will snap stacks and stacks. Let's read that together. Jill will snap blocks. Jill will snap stacks and stacks. Which words on the page do you see that blend with an S? the word snap and also the word stacks. Both words are blends with the letter S. We pick a good spot. We pick a good spot. Peg will spin. Bess will spin. Jen will spin. So let's read that together. Peg will spin. Bess will spin. Jen will spin. It is fun to step, step, step. It is fun to step, step, step. It is fun to skip and sing. It is fun to skip and sing. Yes, it is. It is fun, fun, fun. Yes, it is. It is fun, fun, fun. For our activity in our reader's notebook, we are going to be working on page 119. So I'll go ahead and circle that at the bottom of the page, page 119. We are working blends with S. Our directions tell us to name each picture. Write the first 2 or 3 letters that stand for the beginning sounds. Use the letters from the box. So let's go over our letter sounds that we have in the box. Each of these are blends with the letter S. We have st, sw, sn, sk, str. So let's look at our pictures. On number 1, we have a picture of what kind of animal? This is a picture of a snail. A snail. Which 2 letters stand for the beginning sounds when we say the word snail? Snail. Is it st, sw, sn, sk, str? Which one would we choose for the beginning letters for the word snail? We would choose the letters S, N for the sn, snail. So we're just writing the beginning letters for each of these pictures. So now, let's go through the rest of our pictures, and I want you to try to answer them, then we'll go over them. On number 2, do you know what this is a picture of? On number 2, this is a picture of a light switch. So just a switch. Which letters represent the beginning sound for the word switch? On number 3, we have a few different things going on in this story. We can see a stove with a pot on top, but if you look very closely, you can see an arrow pointing to something. Do you know what the arrow is pointing to? The steam. The steam. The steam coming from the pot. Which of these letter sounds above represent the beginning sounds for the word steam? Steam. On number 4, this is a picture of a what? A balloon. But just like in number 3, we see the small arrow that is pointing to what? The string. String. Write the letters that go in the blank for the word string. And our last word, this is a picture of a what? A skate. Skate. Which of the letter sounds above represent the beginning sounds to the word skate? Skate. Now let's go over each of our answer choices that you selected. On number 2, we said that this is a picture of a switch. Of a switch. The letters that you should have put in the blank would be S, W for switch. For our next picture, we had a picture of a stove and a pot, but we wanted to focus on what the arrow was pointing to. The arrow was pointing to steam. Steam. So in the blank, we should have wrote the words, we should have wrote the letters S-T, st, steam. On number 4, the arrow was pointing to a string. String. The letters that we should have wrote in the blank were S, T, R. And our last picture was a picture of a skate. Skate. We should have wrote the letters S, K. Sk. 8. So we should have filled in the beginning letters. We should have filled in the letters that represent the beginning sound for each of the pictures shown. Once you have completed filling in this activity, you are all done for your reading lesson for today.